so sunny out here. I had to go get my glasses. Hey guys. Hello, hello. All right. There's a lot of you guys on here. I'll give you another second. So I'm in the middle of doing something huge over on my Facebook and thought I would come share with you guys. It's been a work in progress, but I'm finally tackling it. All right. Hey guys. Yes, it is actually in the 80s today. Don't ask why I'm wearing a sweatshirt. Just, you know, it is hot here. I know it's randomly snowing where some of you are. All right. So, Facebook lists. This is something that you guys can utilize to really help with your social media experience as far as your business. So, what I have done, now what's a Facebook list? Okay, some of you guys might not know what that is. Let me back up a little bit. All right, when you're making a post on Facebook, if you click on status update, at the very top it will show you who's going to see your posts, okay? Most of you guys probably have security features to where your posts only show to your friends, right? That's how mine is set up. I do not have a public Facebook. Some of you guys might have a public Facebook. Whatever the case, anyone can use Facebook lists no matter what type of security settings you have set up. So I've gotten to the point where my team is just so big that I don't know if I see, you know, Ashley Smith. Sorry if that's really someone. Maybe there is somebody who's named Ashley Smith and she's making a post. I don't know if that is a potential of mine that's added me from meeting me out somewhere. I don't know if she's on my team. I don't know if she is on my downline. You know, I don't know unless I click on her and click on her mutual friends, and it's just a whole mess. So what I have done that has really helped me is created a Facebook list, many of them. So I have one for my family, like specific to my family. If I wanted to make a post just about my family, I have one for my team. I have one for leaders. So anyone who is on my friends list that is not part of my team. So fellow ambassadors, friends that I've made in sidelines, that sort of thing. I have one. Most important one I have is called potentials, and it's potential customers, distributors. They're in one category, just potentials. So when you are making posts, you can make posts specific to a list, or you can exclude a list. So just now, I have like thousands of friends, so I was trying to go through the whole list and it just got overwhelming. So just now, for example, I made a post on Facebook that said, hey, if you're a Knitworks distributor, like this post, which has made it very, very easy for me to then click on everyone who liked the post and go in and make sure that I have them on the proper list, right? So everyone who liked it, obviously a distributor, I'm putting them all on my team list. Now, why am I doing this? Well, because when you have a list, that means you also have a feed for that list. Now, let me back up a little bit. You should not be friending every single distributor out there, okay? Because Facebook is very, very smart. If you are only interacting with other distributors, Facebook is only going to show you other distributors' posts. You are no longer going to see your potentials posts. So, you know, you've got to be very selective of who you are following, okay? So, for example, somebody on my team way, way below me, I don't know them, sends me a friend request. I check the mutuals. I make sure they're on my team. I do add them as a friend, but I immediately unfollow them, okay? Now, if they're on that means I'm not going to see them in my news feed. But this is the cool thing about Facebook lists. I still want to see what my team is doing because I realize it's not been too long ago when an ambassador would like one of my posts. I think that's really, really awesome. So what I can do is go to feeds. It's above groups if you're looking at how your Facebook's working. I go to feeds and I click on my team. I can scroll the feed where all of these people that I have unfollowed, but because they're in this list, that's where all their posts are going to show up. So I can go through and like and comment on some of my team's stuff. Same thing with potentials. All my potentials are going to be in one place. So it's important that you are building relationships with your potentials, commenting, liking, creating relationships, right? Network marketing. So it just makes it super easy. And now don't be like me. Hopefully some of you guys are watching this. You're new or whatever. I have a lot of catching up to do. Okay. I don't know how many friends I have right now, but I can tell you that I currently have 900 pending friend requests that are just overwhelming to me. But so the key thing to this is you have to be on a computer to start the list, okay? You can do it from your phone once you have the list started. So you've got to start the list from a computer. There are videos on YouTube that talk about exactly how to do Facebook lists. I'm not going to get all into that, but I'm just telling you, it is a great tool and you need to be using it for your business. So right now, what I'm doing, I'm making sure as people come across my news feed, if they are on my team, I don't want to follow them unless they are a brand new distributor that I have personally enrolled, or they're just someone who's my friend. You know, some of my Facebook or my distributors are my great friends. Of course, I still want to see their posts on Facebook. But I mean, you know, maybe you are a diamond right now and you've got people that are pretty far under you that you just don't know them. They're on your team, so you would love to, you know, be their friend. But you just don't want to be interacting with them on Facebook because they're not a potential for you. No, groups and lists are not the same thing. What I would suggest for those of you just starting out is get on a computer and make your lists up. You have to put at least one person in a list to create it. So have a list for your team. Maybe people that you follow. For me, I was trained, I don't accept friend requests from people who aren't on my team because my page is not public. I am not a person who trains my team to add strangers to Facebook. I know other leaders do that. That works for them. But I don't allow people who aren't on my team to be my friend. You only get 5,000 friends on Facebook. So, I would make a list, you know, have your team, people that, you know, your upline or whoever else. I would have potentials. You know, those three are the basics. You know, I would definitely, those are the most important. And, you know, if you don't have a lot of time to start doing this, I go through people as they come through my news feed. That's what I've been doing for the last couple of weeks. Today's the day that I was intentional and I've spent several hours on this, but it can be a slow process. You don't have to do it all at once. So as someone will come across my feed, I see a before and after picture, cool. They're a distributor. They need to go on my list. And I need to unfollow them because, you know, I know you guys make a lot of friends and sideline friends, but you've got to remember, if you're using social media and Facebook as your business, if you are only interacting on those people's posts, those are the only posts Facebook is going to show you. So you have got to be intentional with going to your potentials pages and liking and commenting. So this list feature makes that a whole lot easier. So you simply just click on pages and feeds and look through your potentials feed, and they're all going to be right there for you. They will still show up in your news feed as well. I don't unfollow my potentials. So I hope that makes sense. It's just something that's really streamlining for me and making it a lot easier, especially as your teams grow. It's going to make things a lot easier for you. For me, you know, like leaders, I'm friends with tons of other ambassadors. So if I want to get some examples of some posts that they're posting, I simply go to the leaders feed so I can scroll through and see what they're doing. But I don't need to see their everyday life unless I'm good friends with them, of course, but a lot of them I'm just friends with them because we're ambassadors and we bounce ideas off each other sometimes. But the cool thing about this too is, say you want to share with your local team. I know some leaders have a local team list. You want to post about a meeting and make sure everyone sees it. Maybe they don't check up on your team page or whatever. You can say, hey locals, I'm having a meeting at Panera tomorrow night, and show it to only them. Because remember, you can show things to just certain lists or exclude certain lists. So, you know, you could post to just those people. If I want to post a before and after picture and I don't want a million distributors copying my same picture, I can post to just my potentials. You know, if there's a BOGO sale, I can post about the BOGO to just my potentials because my team obviously knows there's a BOGO sale, okay? Somebody asked how many leaders should you follow. That's up to you. I've never been one to follow. When I was growing my business, I didn't try to friend request or follow leaders on Facebook because to me, Facebook has always been, that's my personal business, my personal team, my personal friends and family. I followed their YouTube channels and learned from their videos on that way, and Periscope. Periscope wasn't really around when I was learning, but that's what I would do now. I wouldn't, you know, try to follow them on Facebook. Because I know for me, I do have the follow option, but probably 85 to 90% of my posts are set to only where my friends can see them. You know, I'll probably never have my Facebook set on public. That's just not my thing. So, does it block those posts from people? So, again, you can either make it to show certain people only or exclude certain people only. So for example, the post I just made that says, hey, like my post if you're an It Works distributor, I said post to everyone except leaders and my team. So everyone who was able to like it, they need to be in my team list. I just haven't gotten to them yet, so it's making it a lot easier for me to just add them all to that list. So I hope that makes sense. You can do it either way that you want to. All right, does anybody have any, well, it got really bright all of a sudden. Let me move seats. Does anybody have any quick questions? Again, I'm not going to get into the whole technical part of how you make Facebook lists. We have some other videos. If you just go on YouTube and YouTube Facebook list, you can find exactly how to do it. Can someone on your list share your post? No, it's just like as if I posted something, because people do it to me all the time. Whenever I make a post that's set to my friends only, people will share it, but it will show attachment unavailable to anyone who I'm not friends with. Or if I tag Michael, it'll show up to his friends, but if somebody shares it, unless there's a globe next to it, it can't be shared publicly. It's just going to not show as anything. So no. I hope I answered that. Anything else? Well, Amanda James lives 5 minutes from me, so I'm sure that could be arranged. I don't follow new people on Facebook. That's just not something that I train. I know other leaders do. You're welcome to, YouTube about it. But listen, Facebook's where I run my business. I don't ever want to be put in Facebook jail for adding strangers and all of that. So I post pictures of my kids and all that. I don't know. I just don't. To me, Facebook is special. So if I meet a potential out and about, or I meet a potential on Instagram, I invite them to become my friend on Facebook. I send them the link to my Facebook and say, hey, I'd love for you to friend me on Facebook, and invite them into my world. That's how I view my Facebook. Again, I don't know. I'm not really techie about the lists. I would assume you just click delete. I don't know. You'd have to go Google it. That's what my answer is. Not everything. Just Google it, because that's what I would have to do. But I do know that you cannot, at least from the Facebook app, you cannot create a list. You can add to it, but you can't create it. So I hope this helps you guys. I know for me, it is definitely helping with my interaction with my potentials, because I can go straight to my potentials feed and make sure I am interacting with them and I don't miss them. That's the problem. When you get so many friends on Facebook, you start to miss everything. And so today I would tell you guys, listen, I know when I first started out, I didn't know any better, and I added like every distributor as my friend. I have a lot of my leaders who are going through and deleting people as friends who they're not friends with and they're not on their team, because it's just not necessary to have that many extra people on your Facebook. So that is another tip for you. Make sure you are unfollowing people so that, especially if it's your downline, because you don't need to see all of their posts. And if they're in a list, you can go give them some love from the list feed, not your regular news feed. Because again, for me, social media is basically the place I run most of my business. So I want to see my potentials in my newsfeed. I don't want to see just my team and all their posts. Cool? Cool. Okay. It's the only weird thing about Periscope. Nobody talks back to me. So who will be in my feed? People who I haven't unfollowed. Unfollowing people and putting people in a list are two totally separate things. So just because I have unfollowed people doesn't mean that they don't see my posts. I'm just not seeing theirs. It's just, it takes them out of my newsfeed. I don't want to see their posts. I don't want to, but they're still my friend. The only way somebody would not see my post is if I made a new status update and I said, post to everyone except my team. Or except, you can even do posts if you don't want to make a list. Before I knew about lists, like for example, when I posted my butt before and after picture like 2 years ago, I didn't want my dad and my uncle to see my post, right? So I posted the picture and I clicked on the accept button and I put accept my dad, and you can select people individually by name. This just makes it a whole lot easier.
How can I not get this?
Because it's locked, buddy. All right. So when you put them in my potential, yes, unless you unfollow them, they will still appear there. Yep. And then they will also appear in your potential list. They'll appear in two places if you put somebody in a list. But for me, before doing a list for my team, for example, if I unfollowed somebody on my regular news feed and I didn't put them in a list, I would never see them. That's why, for example, today I said, who is, if you're a distributor, like my post, because all of those people I never put them in the list because I just hadn't got to it yet, and many of them I'm not following because when I click on their name I can see that I'm not following them at all, so I would have no way of ever seeing their posts or, you know, saying hey or whatever. I missed a comment about something about distributors, sorry. Any other last minute questions on this? Good, I'm glad. It's one of those things that's kind of hard to understand unless you're like showing on a computer screen, but you will see. If you can go over to your Facebook right now and click on a status you've already done and click on edit, and you can edit the privacy of it, and that's what we're talking about here, the privacy of your posts, like who your posts are going to. Yes, unfollowing on Facebook and unfollowing on Instagram is not the same at all. No, I do not speak French. So unfollowing on Facebook simply means you will not see them in your newsfeed. If they're in a list, okay, if I unfollow somebody and I want to see their posts, they have to be in a list that I've created, and then I go to that list feed. On Facebook, guys, you have as many news feeds as you want to have. The one main news feed that you guys all look at probably every single day is just your main news feed, and oftentimes it's not even in chronological order. It's what Facebook and their algorithms thinks that you want to see. That's why you have to click the most recent in order to see, you know, what's happened most recently. But by creating lists, you have different feeds. So you can have, you know, I have, I'll use Courtney Vogelsang, my presidential. We are personal friends. I have a list for my personally enrolled distributors, a list for my team. Well, Courtney and I are friends, so I want to see her, so I did not unfollow her, but she also appears in my personally enrolled team list, and if I click on my team, she will also appear in that list. So one person can be in multiple lists. So you're going to have to go play around with it. It'll probably make more sense once you start it. But again, you've got to be on a computer and you have got to add at least one person to a list in order to create it. And then once it's created, you can go to your cell phone and it makes it a lot easier to click on someone's name. You can unfollow someone from your phone and add them to a list at the same time. So I wish I had started this a year ago, but hey, we're always evolving. We're always learning new things. It's going to definitely make it easier for me to keep up with my potentials. Since I am not green and I haven't always put people on a spreadsheet, I wouldn't have any idea if they were a potential or a teammate or whatever. So this is helping me. Hopefully it helps you as well. All right. I'm at Mom's house for dinner, so I'm going to go rummage through her fridge and find me a snack because I'm hungry. All right, guys. Have a great afternoon.